Hey everybody, I'm late. I know it. I can't help it. You know, I spend time with a dog, and I like it, and I love that dog. So I gotta, I do what I gotta do. This is a, this isn't really my main priority. I was also waiting to see what the stock market was doing, and it's doing what I thought it would do. This is a game. I still think this is a game Trump is playing, where he's manipulating the stock market. Way back in '61, I think it was, me and a friend of mine got together, and both our fathers were sort of in the finance business, whatever. They were both involved with the stock market a little bit. So we sat down and decided, and my friend was talking about it, and I said, why don't we do this? Why don't we see if we can start a rumor and see what happens to this idiot stock we're talking. We were looking at a penny, what they called a penny stock. It was something like 75 cents a share or something at the time. And I don't know, it's a little, the stock market's way different now, so I don't think you could find a stock that was cheap enough to play with it like this, but anyhow, we did. And the last stock that was like this was GameStop. Anyhow, so we set this rumor. I don't even remember what the rumor was. Anyhow, okay, and it turned around. It took the 75-cent stock in a matter of about 2 days, because it took a day for us to get it out there, because things weren't instantaneous like they are now. We had to have somebody say something and circulate it and whatnot, at lunch and whatnot, and what have you. And it took about a day and a half. And the next thing I know, this 75-cent stock is worth $12. Okay? We made a few dollars. And then we just didn't say a word. We sold it off, didn't say a word. That we had anything to do with it. And the stock basically settled back down and finally was taken off the company folded or something like that. So, it was just the reaction to rumor. The stock market reacts very, very highly to rumor. So, yesterday you had this guy come on, Walter Bloomberg. It's not anything to do with Bloomberg News or anything like that. Or the Bloomberg that's ran for governor. It's a fake. It's just a name he's using. This guy. No, I don't think anybody knows who he is. Anyhow, makes a statement that to the extent that Trump is considering a 90-day pause on tariffs. So where did you get this information? This guy says so and so. You go back to this point, and it's yep. They said it's a possibility, and which he's not considering anything at this moment, Trump, anyhow. But he's got people thinking it. And the stock market goes up, and the amount of money involved in that raise was $4 trillion. And something like 15 minutes later, the truth comes out that it's not, that he's not considering anything. Nobody knows anything about what this guy's talking about. And the stock market drops $4 trillion. But that's what you can do if you have, that's what they call an influencer, He can play this game, make people think everything, and it's just so stupid. So, I read that, and I said, gee, we did it all wrong back in those days. We only made a few dollars. This guy's making, somebody turned around and made had to make some people must have made, if they did what they were supposed to do, some people could have made $1 million, They also could have lost, depending on how fast they reacted to the whole thing, they could have lost $1 million. But if they knew what was going on, if they knew this guy, was lying through his teeth, they could have made quite a bit of money. I'm not going to get into the math because that just hurts my head nowadays. Really, it does. I loved math when I was in school. I was very, very good at it. And nowadays it just hurts my head. trying to stay afloat. You know, what else is going? Oh, I was Harris finally opened up her mouth a day or so ago, and she's talking about, very disgusted with Trump's policies in the first couple of months of his second term, and I'm sitting there going, Kamala, the deal was you should have spoke up right away. You should have had. You said these things. Well, you should have put more emphasis on it. People didn't believe. For some reason, people didn't believe you. Didn't take everything you said the way you didn't express it with enough. Excuse me. Or you only expressed it once, and that wasn't enough. You needed to put it forward several times. See, when I yawn like that, you people know this is a live broadcast, okay? I'm making this video. And when I was doing live broadcasts, the same thing would happen to me, but nobody cared, This isn't a live broadcast. I just don't edit it. Anyhow, getting back to the story. So, I believe that Harris, as a politician or as a possibly presidential hopeful in 2028, waited far too long to say anything. Now nobody's paying attention to her now. Nobody's going to go, oh yeah, I remember. No, nobody cares. Too late. You waited too long. Kamala, you had some opportunities there at the to stay viable, to stay influential in politics, to get the Democrats set to run. And what happens? Trump wins by a fairly large margin, and the Democrats sit there and go, what happened? Jeez, they don't like us anymore. Where is this stuff that you I don't know. Where is this? Where are your balls? I mean, you know what I'm talking about. Where are your guts? Where's your courage? Where's your mouth? Nowhere. The first one to speak up, because he was already a governor, was Walz. Now, I don't think he's presidential material. I don't think anybody else does. But at least he's talking. At least he's saying something. Kamala's political future, I would, they say governor of California. I say it's possible for her to get elected, but I'm not sure. I think Trump will do everything in his power to bury her. Send Elon out there with his $1 million checks and whatnot, and see what happens. But that's, that's what he does, That's what she does. She doesn't. That's what the Democrats do. They don't. They don't do anything, and that's terrible. Oh man. The other thing is, we have to do something down the road here. I don't know when it's going to happen or who's going to do it, or if it'll happen at all, but we have to do something about the Supreme Court, the makeup of the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court has gotten to a point where it's too political. It's not an independent. It's not as independent as it's supposed to be. There has to be some reworking of the government somehow or another, but not the way they're trying to go about it, by destruction. Because they're not the politicians aren't the ones that are getting hurt. The people that are getting hurt are the little people, the regular people. Everything that Trump does isn't affecting the major corporations or anything else. Nobody's jumping up and down. You know, the people that are jumping up and down are the hundreds of thousands of people that went into the streets for the protest on Saturday or Sunday. I forget which day it was. But anyhow, you know, it's what's necessary. You got to do this, you know. It's not going to happen any other way. We have to get in there. We have to get out. We have to fight. We have to say what we want to say. You know, standing out in the middle of the street saying, "Trump, you suck." That's okay, but you got to let the people around you know why he sucks. What's he doing? You know, and most of the people that are going out right now are worried about Medicaid, Medicare, and Social Security. Sure, there's a lot of job loss. I mean, I just read someplace where he just went out and did something to JD's hometown that's going to affect a big steel company there. He's going to cut some sort of grant that Biden gave to him. That's stupid, man. You talk about you want to, why? Because Biden did it. That's like he hates everything Obama did. Okay, and he wants to change, and he wanted to change the names. He wanted to get rid of everything. Okay, because Obama said it. Now he's doing this with a lot of people and a lot of things. He's trying to get rid of it because so and so said it, or because the Democrats did it. That's not how you work. Now, the man is you know. Now, going along with stories that were out, there was a thing on the news section of YouTube where this kid, this young guy, looks like a kid, but everybody looks like a kid to me, said that, you know, Trump can't read. I have thought that for a long time. Because if you remember his first term, one of the things they used to bring up was that there's a briefing every morning. The cabinet was meeting every morning. There was briefings being held where a security briefing, you know, and it would be handed out, and you got to read it. Trump never read it. Trump would hand it off to somebody else to read it and then tell him what it was about. You know, whether it was worthwhile for him paying attention to it. And so I'm not sure if he can read or not. I know that I don't believe he's as intelligent as he claims he is. I mean, he is a psychological manipulator. That's doesn't take an education. Con men aren't always educated. So, you know, anybody can do that. Doesn't take a college degree to play the games that he plays. And someplace along the line, he learned that he was good at it. He could get people he could bullshit people to get him to do what he wanted to do. Now he's trying to bully them. And he's trying to bully the world. And he thinks he's going to get away with it. And I got to tell you, I keep going back, you know. French Revolution, people got tired of the bullshit, you know. And eventually I think they will get tired of this bullshit, but I don't know whether that's going to be in time to save the country or not, you know. They might realize that by the time it's too late. It's like, you know, Harris starting to speak up, realizing she should have spoke up 4 months ago or whatever, you know, and too late now, bitch. What can I tell you? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to call her a bitch, but I get pissed off at people that do that, you know. Anyhow, please subscribe to my videos. Like my videos or dislike them, but subscribe. That's the important thing, okay? Doesn't cost you anything. You can unsubscribe if you get pissed off about what you're seeing, but if you're here today and you waited to this point in time in the video, you must have liked something I said. I know I'm good looking, but I don't think that's why you're here. So you go around, you know, just hit that little button, subscribe. That's all you got to do. It's over. It's done with. I'm happy. You're happy. Everybody's happy. YouTube is happy that I'm actually doing something that people are actually watching. And look, I try to get on. I try to get these things up by 11 o'clock. Doesn't always work out that way, as you can see. But that's why I post videos, because I can't. I'm not very good at time because I don't give a shit about it. All right, I'm 79 years old. I'm retired. I don't run anywhere. Okay. All right. So that's it. Subscribe, like, and I'll see you tomorrow.